Hello, everyone. Welcome to our webinar. My name is Andrew Townsend. I'm the Campaign Marketing Manager here with eLearning Brothers. Today, we're going to be talking about how to train your team to work and manage remotely. This session will be recorded. We will send a copy of this recording out to everybody who has registered. We will also be posting a copy of this on our blog so that you can reference it there at your leisure. If you have questions or comments during the webinar, please use the questions panel that is a part of the GoToWebinar control interface there, so you can access it there and send us anything that you'd like to say. We'll get to as many of your questions and comments as we can, and if we're not able to get to some of these comments, we will try to reach out offline to make sure that all of your questions are answered. All right, so to talk to us today, we have the wonderful D'Artagnan Peterson, one of our account executives. Thanks for joining us, D'Artagnan. And without further ado, I'm going to pass the screen over to you.
Awesome. Thanks for having me, Andrew. I am looking forward to showing everybody around and being able to answer those questions. So let me make sure that I have my screen shared properly.
I'm seeing your How to Work Successfully from Home.
Perfect.
Course.
Excellent. So yeah, this is what I'm going to be showing you is just a preview of some of these courses, and these are actually hosted through our LMS, Knowledge Link, and so you'll be able to not only see the courses themselves, but how they actually look inside of an LMS, and just be able to see how that goes. So we'll go ahead and start here. And so this is our How to Work Successfully from Home toolkit. And these are provided by a partner of ours called Vado. And this bundle has 3 courses in it. And what we'll be reviewing is this bundle and then the Remote Leadership Toolkit bundle as well. So as you can see, I've completed these courses myself, and so when the whole COVID situation started and we all started having to work from home, my manager said now's as good a time as any to get in and take these courses and know what's inside. So we'll go ahead and click on the Preparing to Successfully Work from Home course. And you'll see that it opens up.
Sorry, GoToWebinar is a bandwidth hog.
No worries. Yeah, it just took a minute, needed to refresh. So as you can see, as we click through here, you'll see that these courses consist of the start page is just an about the course, and as you play through that video, it will tell you how to navigate the course and go through the menu, which includes any job aids that are on there, replay any page if the audio is present, and navigate to any page within the course. So you can pause the audio through here as well.
Now you're probably hearing audio. We're not.
I'm not hearing audio yet. I haven't played the video yet. So I'm just walking through the courses and how it's fairly easy to use and able to just click here. And can you hear that audio, Andrew?
Nope, but I imagine it's awesome.
All right, well, then we'll just go ahead and move on, and we'll trust that the audio is great.
Now these Vado courses, they're primarily video supported courses, right?
Yeah, so they are video supported courses, and so as you click through, you'll see that this video has the introduction on the working from home, and each page has a video transcript as well, with where the transcript starts and timestamps for where each section starts. And so since you guys can't hear my audio, we'll look at this real quick. So this just kind of walks through each of the the introduction on the actual course itself and the preparing to work from home, before you get started, we're going to ask some questions and give things to consider as we look through the course and through the various modules. I want you to stop and be mindful of how you're setting yourself up for success. You'll have a much better chance, at having a great teleworking experience. And so this course mainly goes over how to prepare your environment for working from home and being ready to work from home in a way that isn't distracting. So we'll go through here, and here's another video here with this transcript. And on the transcript, these are exact transcripts of the videos. So anyone who would rather read than watch the video, or who has hearing impairment, isn't going to be missing out on anything that exists in the video. So as it says here, it's easy to lose focus. What are I supposed to be working on? Spend a lot of time putting out fires and not necessarily doing the work that is productive. And that's something that a lot of people, when working from home, in my experience, can relate to, is that it always seems like there's something more pressing at home for your attention than there would be at the office. So we'll click through here, and this slide does have audio as well, which I'm sure you can't hear, so I'm going to just mute that so that I'm not talking over it and hearing it in my head. But again, the audio is basically reading out these exactly. So as you think about working from home, what concerns you the most? I know that for myself personally, the thing that was the hardest for me was staying socially engaged and maintaining the right working relationship with my manager. The social engagement of the office is what helps get me and a lot of other people through the day sometimes. And so it was quite an adjustment to just be working from home and not being able to have any of those kind of convenient chances to just chat for a couple minutes. And so I had to adjust to that, and this set of courses helps kind of prepare you for that adjustment, as well as some solutions to that problem. And then it does say to download the job aid from the resources section. So you go in here, and then you can download any of these job aids for Microsoft Word, preparing to successfully work from home job aid, and the working from home concerns job aid in Word or a PDF form. So you can do either of those. Then as we continue on, setting up a successful teleworking environment. Like Andrew said, these are mainly video based with some interactions as we go through them. And it looks like this one is having a little bit of a glitch on the actual text side of things. The text is a little janky, but it's still legible. So we'll have someone look at that right after this. But we talk about equipment and technology. You don't need every gadget and every tool, but you want to make sure you have sufficient access to the information that you need. And that means you're going to need high-speed internet, a device to access the internet, and the files back at the home office. You're going to need the standard things like a copier. You're going to need access to a filing cabinet. You need to have what you need. And so it basically is telling you to go over the what you need at the office and make sure that you have that same stuff at home so as not to interrupt your workflow at any point. So we'll continue clicking through here. And as you begin working from home, you want to create the right work environment, and has these click to reveal drop-down menus for setting up the physical environment. Make sure you are comfortable working, physical separation between your work and living space, and if possible, have some natural light. And the natural light is something that I found was super important as well. I make sure to have my blinds open, and so that I can be getting as much of that natural light as possible. Make sure that you just have all the technology available and set boundaries with those you live and with yourself, and schedule work time. That was the other thing that I myself ran into an issue with, was that working from home, it gets a lot easier to just kind of start work maybe a little bit later, but then end up working way later, just because you're already at home, and so you're in the mindset of working, and so you end up working till 6 or 7 p.m. when you meant to stop working at around 5.
So we have a couple questions here.
Absolutely, sorry about that. Just love hearing myself talk.
So these are off-the-shelf courses, yes?
Yes, these are off-the-shelf courses. They are.
Are these editable? So if we wanted to edit these, maybe we happen to have other things. So on back a couple screens where you were listing potential distractions or things I said, one of them was barriers. You had mentioned your relationship with your manager. If we wanted to add to that, is that possible?
So they aren't editable by your organization. We do have the ability to edit those. That does come with an additional fee to the courses, but what would happen is you would send us your edits and we would take care of that for you, and obviously send them to you for approval.
Okay, excellent. So we can make those changes, but we're not able to make those available to the user yet.
Yes, we're not able to have the user edit them themselves.
Okay, excellent. And that goes with the content. So if we wanted to add some in this section, or the content that's popping up on the right, if we wanted to make some that were specific, like a little pop-up. So let's use eLearning Brothers as an example, since we did take this course when we went all remote.
Sure.
If we wanted to put a little pop-up box there on the right where there's that little plus button, if we wanted to say eLearning Brothers guidelines on this or something like that, or Acme Corp for this or whatever, that could be another thing that we can add and edit. We can add and edit all of this, even up to changing pictures.
Yeah, so if you wanted to have that in there, so right in this area here, have it say eLearning Brothers guidelines to working from home, then the way that would work is, while you were talking to the person to get access to the courses in the first place, you would say, and after reviewing the courses, we've determined that we need this change, and this change. And it can be anything from branding to adding one of those. Then what we would do is we would look at those changes and determine how much we would need to change, and then we would quote you on that and make sure that it was set up exactly the way that you would want the courses set up. So you'd be able to. So it's not editable by you, but it is completely editable by us.
And then one other question before we move on here.
Sure.
These courses, do they have to be viewed in an LMS? Can they be viewed by themselves? How does deployment work? And maybe you're going to get to that down the road, but yeah. I think that's something, because a big reason we're all here is because we do need training. We need training to help people adjust to this remote workforce. I read an article this morning about another company based in Germany that has 380,000 employees, and they announced yesterday that they're going 100% remote for all of those. So, I mean, this need for solid remote work training and that adjustment is there and it's needed, but we may not be ready to deploy or know how to deploy that information. So how can that be done with these particular courses, and how long does it take to make that happen?
Absolutely. So these courses are in a SCORM format, so they do need to be put into an LMS. And so in that same vein, we also have an LMS that we can provide. And so eLearning Brothers is really a one-stop shop for all of this stuff, for the courses, for the editing, for the LMS itself, for tools, and in order to develop your own courses to put into an LMS. We have all of that available. And so if you're running into some of these issues or hurdles, as it were, in kind of pushing out content, then that's what we're here to help with, is to be an end-to-end solution to those problems.
Okay,
So,
excellent.
but the short answer is yes, they do need to be put into an LMS, and they are in the SCORM format. So we'll click on through, and I'll make sure that I can actually hear Andrew this time. And so setting up that, back to what we were saying before, setting up that working environment from home. Something that kind of draws my attention in this is, in a perfect world, discrete space with a door. And a lot of us are started out teleworking from the north end of the dining room table. And so I know that's something that a lot of people have been dealing with. They don't have an actual office space set up in their home, or space to set up an office at home. And so, so for a lot of people, that dining room table, I know a lot of people had to set up IKEA desks in their bedrooms. And so we don't live in a perfect world, but even having something as simple as a curtain drawn up across a space or a wooden divider, psychology, you want a different workspace than where you spend the rest of your life. And so it does go over the kind of mental reasons why it's important, as well as the reasons of the actual work itself, and why why you need to be a little bit separated in order to actually get work done. So we're back over here, and we already went through a good amount of this. And so we'll just click on through. Then the last slide here is an assessment that is also built in and ready to go. So this just goes over how the assessment works and all of that. We have the video transcript here, and we'll go ahead and begin that assessment and go through this. So working from home is just like working from an office building. I'm going to say false. Some of the potential challenges when working from home. And so you can see that there are true and false questions. There are select the correct response, which is all of the above in this case. So multiple choice questions. What are the 3 areas you need to consider when setting up your homework environment? Select 3 responses, so also multiple response: physical environment, equipment and technology, psychological environment. I know what teleworking challenges I need to take action to minimize their impact on my work. And so this is kind of more of a self-reflection question. And so true, and I know what actions I must take to create the right work environment. Another self-reflection, true. And then shows you your assessment score. You can obviously we can change this for you so that if you would rather them need the full 100% on the course assessment or 80, something like that, then you're able to do that as well. Then continue, and says you completed the course and you can get a course certificate. This says false because my access to it is a little bit different, but this would say someone's name on there, and then you can print out that certificate. So we'll go ahead and exit the course. So that is just the first working from home course that is available. And then we'll quickly have a look at the remote leadership toolkit as well. This one has more courses and more curriculums to it. And so you can see that there's introduction to the remote leader, and this goes into more depth of create and manage remote teams, leading effective virtual meetings, delivering great web presentations, remote goal setting and accountability, and remote coaching feedback. So it goes into a lot more detail about what managers need to do in order to successfully relate and connect with the people underneath them, even while working from home. And like I said a little bit earlier, that was my other big struggle, was keeping that relationship with my manager a little bit, and keeping it going in an effective way. And so it goes over strategies for the managers to be able to do that effectively. And after we took all these courses, when we found out that the working from home wouldn't last 2 weeks, after we all took these courses, that relationship was a lot easier to maintain and to keep effective. So we'll quickly go ahead and look at just one of the introduction courses, and you'll see that it is a similar layout in the course itself. If the course will decide to load, takes a minute. Like Andrew said, the webinar software is eating up a good amount of my bandwidth here.
Sorry. Oh man.
No worries, it'll take just a minute to load. There we go.
That happy guy.
Yeah, he's happy to be here, just like
he likes virtual work. That's what he likes.
And so as we go through this, you'll see that they're laid out fairly similarly, just so that there's no issue on knowing how they work. This first slide has the same about the course video, going over all of the menus, audio, navigation, all of that. So we'll click through here, and here's the 5-minute video on the remote leadership. And the full transcript of that with those timestamps once again. And so then we'll click ready to begin. Then it goes through the different remote leadership steps. So this is step 1. You're part of a growing club of leaders tasked with managing and leading individuals across the country and around the world. Whether you're in the same building or not, leadership is complex. And so it's going over all of the different steps on the introduction of this and the unique aspects of the virtual work environment, as the course title says right there. And so what's different between working and managing from an office as opposed to working and managing online. Make a list of the core responsibilities, and so this is just kind of the core responsibilities of a manager, no matter where they are, versus the And then there's the job aids over here. Well, we'll go ahead and close that, close that. So we have the job aids once again for these courses. Consider using the job aid to record your results. We complete that step. Step 3, take a look at the results and think about the following. Common connection between the remote challenges. Does a particular challenge seem too difficult to overcome? What are you most worried about? And so this does a good job of laying out the issues and challenges that an individual is feeling, as well as the full range of challenges of working from home. Because since everyone's different people will have challenges doing different things. And so this helps someone kind of inwardly reflect on, okay, what do I need to focus on as a remote leader? We'll click through here. And the final steps, it has develop on the job. And so a lot of it is just keeping these sorts of things in mind. And while you're managing from home, then once you've completed the development exercise, come back to the course to complete the assessment. So we're gonna not complete the development exercise quite yet, but we'll go through this assessment as well. Do your responsibilities as a leader change because you are working remotely? Let's say no. As a remote leader, do you sometimes need to perform the tasks and responsibilities differently? Yes. I'm committed to turning my remote leadership role from a challenge into an advantage. And so again, these questions kind of start out as what did you learn? How did you learn it? And turns into reflecting on you and making sure that you understand how leading remotely impacts your core leadership responsibilities. And I know what remote leadership skill areas I want to improve next. We go through there, another 100%. And like before, it has the course certificate and all of that. And so these courses also give continuing education credit. And so this one is for the Project Management Institute and gives you all of the information you need for that continuing education credit, as well as you can print out the course certificate again. So that's kind of the overview of how the courses are laid out and how they're all set up. Those aren't the only courses that we provide. Like I was saying before, eLearning Brothers is an end-to-end learning solution. So we have courses on all of these topics as well, and we're always working to expand those offerings. So I think that's it from me, Andrew. Are there any other questions that people have asked or anything like that?
Yeah, we got a couple questions here. Can you talk to us a little bit about reporting inside of the LMS?
Sure. So that is on the admin side of things. And so I personally, I don't have access to the reporting side of things. And we actually have our LMS specialists. Their names are Bill Crandall and Pete Getchell. And they are the people who you would definitely want to talk to about how the reporting fully works inside of the LMS and get that taken care of. So if you reach out to us at eLearning Brothers, then I'm sure that we would be happy to get you set up with a conversation with one or both of those guys, and so that you can look at that LMS closer.
A week from today, Peter's doing a webinar just about that reporting and on the LMS side. So if you don't want to schedule something one-on-one, maybe something a little less commitment, you can check out Peter's webinar next Thursday, same time, same place.
Even better. Another
question. So are these only deployable in this LMS? Can I deploy them in my LMS?
Yep. So we are able to give you those SCORM files so that you can deploy those directly into your LMS. And yeah, that simple answer of yes.
Okay,
You are able to put those into your LMS.
Am I limited to how many users can take each course?
So our system is based on a per learner basis. So you would get access to the full library of the curriculum of the courses, whether it's the managing from home or working successfully from home. And then you would discuss how many learners you have or are expecting to have over a year with your account executive, which in this case would be me. And we'd go over that. I'd work with you to make sure that you have everything you need, but not too much, and so that you're in that sweet spot. And so it's the only limit is how many do you need?
Excellent. Okay, great. I'm going to take the screen back just for a second here.
Absolutely.
I'm going to pass it here, and hopefully this is showing the right stuff. Yes. Okay. So if I need to vet these courses, I mean, you just demoed it. You just ran through them. You showed us a lot of it. But if I need to actually vet these before my company commits, what's the best way to reach you? So I put this up on the screen. You can send an email to info@elearningbrothers.com. You can just visit elearningbrothers.com, and you can download our catalog of courses. So, I mean, there's way more courses than what Dartanian has showed us today. And then there's a phone number there in the corner. Is there a better phone number to reach you by, Dartanian, to really get stuff moving if we need to vet these?
Yeah, so if you want to reach me directly, my phone number is 801-854-5175, and that is my direct phone number, so you will be going directly to me, and I can set you up with access to go through the courses, all of the courses yourself in any of the curriculums we talked about today or any of the other curriculums you're interested in. And you can go through, vet those, and take the courses yourself. And then, Andrew, is there a way to put my number and email where people can either see it or just like copy paste it?
Yep, we will include that in the email that has this recording. So we'll send that out in the next couple of hours, and you guys can view that there. I think that was everything you had planned to share, Dartanian. I think we went pretty quickly.
Yeah, absolutely.
So maybe now you guys have some time. If you really want to, you can reach right out to Dart. You want to give us that number one more time?
Yep, that number is 801-854-5175.
Great.
And I'm working from home, so I'm not going anywhere. So I'll be here.
Great. Thank you, Dartanian. Thanks everybody for joining us. We hope that you got what you wanted and that you'll join us on our webinar next week about the LMS. Thanks. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.